2 KA builds that we're going to do out of the garage here. So going to be kind of a budget build, but definitely wanted to document some of this so that we can maybe help somebody out if they had questions about doing a KA. There's tons of new parts available for KA setups, and let's see what we can get into. So here's the couple of the parts for the one we're getting into for mine. Got a buddy named Cody that will be doing one as well for. This is a couple things here. Here's all the stuff for his car still in the boxes, and we'll go to the garage. There it is. So we're already like halfway torn down on this one. I didn't get most of the tear down because we got into a little situation with the timing chains. But we got that all good to go now, and figured we'd start trying to get some video and document some of this ISR turbo parts going on here. So just kind of like a simple type setup. We're going to do a ROM ECU, and I'll go over the spec list later, but I figured just some of the install procedures and some of the stuff we can get some video of. So we're just going to jump right into this. Where we're at right now with the project is I need to get this oil pan drilled for the oil drain from the turbo. We are using the Tomei hardware kit, so it comes with this 9-knee bung to run parallel right here, rather than welding in a -10 or -8 or whatever that everybody else does. The Tomei kit, I like it. It's kind of like OEM spec type stuff. I was gonna weld this in, but I figured if this sealing gasket that it comes with, if it doesn't end up working, once we have this in here, this is steel, we can always clean it up and then weld it on the outside later if it does end up leaking. Okay, so we're looking through the little instruction deal here for the Tomei kit. It says that it wants the hole right here. It's about 20 millimeters up and about 30 millimeters over from where this first bolt hole's at. So we made a little mark. I'm going to try to find a drill bit. It's about 16 millimeters right now to get this hole drilled out on there. We've got a couple washers and the bolt and everything that it comes with here. There is the one sealing washer, so we were just looking at the little diagram here. The TC41's got to go on the outside. We should be able to put this right in here. Nice snug fit. And then right here. So this here, obviously you want to clean all the metal shavings out of the oil pan at some point when you're all done, but this right here, he wants you to run parallel with the flange on the oil pan there. And then once we'll get it all nice and snug, and there she is. All right, we got our torque wrench here set to 89 Newton meters. And let's see what we got. Get this boy set up. Make sure it's nice and parallel. Start cranking her down. Okay, so now that our oil pan is just about ready to go, we want to show you how far the engine needs to get lifted up so that you can have access to some of the bolts from where the subframe is at. So these bolts right here, basically on the bottom of the engine mounts, got to come out on both sides, and then we'll show you how far the engine needs to come up right now. So the stud on this side just about came up. On this one over here, is just about up out of there. So you're looking for like an inch or so of clearance. I think this is how high we had it when we got the oil pan out. But that right there should be good to go. I've got the jack underneath the back of the bell housing there. All right, so let's get this. They say you want about 2 to 3 millimeters all the way around, and then obviously you want to go on the inside of the bolts as well. So let's see what we can do. We used to call these the Cheese Whiz cans because it reminds you of a can of Cheese Whiz. Let's see, nice and steady. All right, now we need to go find the bolts for it. We're gonna get the bolts ready to go, and we need to find the pickup too, because that's the other trick that we're gonna show you in just a second. Okay, one thing I do want to add with this oil pan thing, there's tons of write-ups online on how to do the oil pans on these and everything, but the steering shaft does need to get disconnected, because prior to doing all of this, we did also need to drop the subframe down a little bit as well. You don't have to take the bolts all the way out of the subframe, but they do drop down about 1/2 inch or so. So the strainer here, it's kind of a tight fit, so it's got to go in there, and you've got to start the 2 bolts for the strainer while you have the pan down still. So let's see what we can do. So we got the oil pan on there. Takes a little finesse to get to the back 2 bolts. I would definitely recommend having, with the extension, have a wobbly end on the extension. Takes a little bit to get up in there. It's not a straight shot, but other than that, got the motor dropped back down. Everything's nice and tight, should seal. And for the next video, I'm gonna start putting the turbo together and kind of show with some of the ISR kit stuff, put all the gaskets in there, get all the lines mounted into the core of the turbo, and then get that thing ready to install on here. So thank you for watching, appreciate you, and we'll see you for the next one.